spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York.
I'm standing in the coolest room in all of LA Convention Center with Nathan, executive producer on one of the hottest games of the convention, Crysis 2. So, could you set the stage for Crysis 2?
Yeah, so in Crysis 2, we're taking the player to the first time out of the jungles and into New York City, the heart of New York, and it's a really big move for us. We're really excited about it. We're really excited to be here at E3, and hope to show you some good stuff today.
What about the Crysis experience is it that lends itself well to a city like New York?
Regardless of the setting of Crysis 2, really what makes it unique is that we combine the intensity of a linear FPS, which are like a dime a dozen right now on the market. We combine that intensity with the open sandbox play that only Crysis can provide. So it's a really new kind of experience for a lot of players. If you want to play it like a traditional shooter, you can, but if you really want to take advantage of the sandbox elements, you have a lot of fun playing. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do.
So can you give us a concrete example of how it's different, like a specific situation?
Yeah, so one of the levels we're showing today is Central Station exterior, and in this level the Marines are falling back to Central Station to help the civilian evacuation out of the city. And when the player gets there, he has a choice of how he wants to help out the Marines. So he can go down the main path and take kind of a more action hero combat route, or he can take a couple of stealth routes through the level to help the forces win and survive. And it's not just one way. There's not just one path. We don't tell you how to play. We let you find that yourself, and you can do what you want to do. Yeah, and in the first level you play more as the hunter, hunting the alien enemies as you move through the level. You really have the advantage in that regard because it's open and you can use all the powers of the suit. And the second level we're providing a really extreme contrast, and it's a much tighter, really confined space, but it too is a sandbox, and we give you a lot of weapons in there to attack or fight against a really big enemy. And in that level you're more of the prey, so you're using the suit to survive and all the powers of the suit in a smaller sandbox, but it's still very dense. So it's a really good contrast showing kind of both extremes of the game, where we can give you very open spaces and then very confined spaces.
Because I think when you look at a game like Crysis 2, it's easy to just look at the aesthetics and how beautiful it is, and not think about what the technology offers in terms of gameplay. And perhaps that's the most important thing that I saw when I saw the game first time.
Yeah. For us, it's a really big thing to move beyond just being a good-looking game. We want to make a really great game. And one of the big things this time around as a team is that we're having as much fun playing and making the game as we are, making it itself, and just the general sense of making the game. That's a big change. Crysis 1, like you said, was there were really great gameplay moments, but the emphasis was really heavy on graphics and visuals, and we still have that same emphasis, but now we're having fun making a game, which is really important.
So can you tell us a little bit about how the suit has been upgraded for the sequel?
Yeah, what we did looking at Crysis 2 was we wanted to cater to the way players were playing Crysis 1. So we gave the player a lot of suit powers in Crysis 1, but what we found was they were creating gamer styles. So a lot of people were playing kind of as like a hunter or a predator, either short or long range. And then another group of people were playing like an ultimate soldier kind of action hero. And so with the suit changes that we've made for Crysis 2, we're really catering to those styles of play and enhancing that kind of gameplay space. So the big thing for us is that you get to create the greatest action moments of all time in an FPS in the sandbox, using the really cool suit.
So another big thing, of course, is that it's coming to consoles.
Yeah.
Can you talk us through a little bit about that decision and what it means?
Yeah, for consoles, we wanted to get a great game in the hands of as many people as possible. And before we were only PC and really pushed the limits of what PC hardware could do. And we said there's no way a game like Crysis could even run on consoles. So when we took CryEngine 3, which started development, one of the big goals was making that kind of gameplay accessible on consoles as well. So the engine scales per platform, take the most advantage of the hardware. If you have a 360 or a PS3, it's going to squeeze every last ounce out of it. If you have a PC, if you have a moderate range PC, you're going to have a really great time playing it. If you have a really high-end PC, you're going to get even better visuals and graphics. But the core gameplay is the same across all platforms, so it's really good for the gamer.
One of the big talking points of E3, these things,
Yeah.
3D. Crysis 2 will be available on all platforms in 3D. Can you talk us through a little bit about that and what that means?
Yeah, for us, we saw 3D gaming as a trend that was going to develop, and we had a guerrilla team working internally, very small group of people working for over 2 years so far on 3D technology and what does it mean, and what's best for the consumer, and what are all the technologies on the market. That's important to us for two regards: not only making a great game, that is there for future audiences, but it's also for our CryEngine development that we want to make sure, since we license our engine to other developers, that we're 3D ready as well. So it benefits Crysis 2 in that regard, in that we had already laid the groundwork and the research, and we're not just jumping on the bandwagon. We knew about this 2 years ago, and we're really planning for it and really trying to find the most pleasing sense of 3D for gamers in general.
And when will we get to play Crysis 2?
Holiday.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's all